Zane Redfern, home decorating enthusiast and creator of At Home with Zane. So welcome back everyone. Today I'm going to be putting together my beautiful spring tray. If you watched my recent video, I shared with you many items I purchased from Pier 1, and I shared with you that I was going to be putting together a beautiful tray vignette for the spring season. So what I've done is I've taken my tray here, and preliminarily I went ahead and I put some moss grass in the bottom of the tray. Now I did this because I just didn't want a harsh white bottom, so I wanted to add something to give it a little bit of texture, but I did not want to fill the entire bottom of the tray full of moss grass. And the reason why is because we're going to be placing things inside, and so underneath those pieces you're not going to really see it anyway. So I always suggest don't overuse, but be prepared. So whenever you're putting together any sort of a tray or a vignette of any sort, I always recommend putting your pieces together first to make sure everything is going to fit and to get a game plan. And so that's what I've done here this morning. So I laid down some of the moss grass, and then I also took some of these moss pieces from the Dollar Tree. They sort of look like little moss stones, and I've strategically placed those throughout the tray. So as you can see here, we have a little bit of a base going on. When we fill everything in, it's going to look beautiful. So the first thing I'm going to do is take our anchor piece, which is this large rabbit. Whenever you're putting together a vignette, it's also important to have some sort of an anchor or something large. You could do a vase, you could do a candle lantern, but in this instance, we're going to put together our tray using our beautiful rabbit here, and he is a nice brown with black tones. So what I've done to soften him up a little bit, and because this is a distinguished look, this isn't really a novelty so much, I didn't want it to take on that really bright Easter look, because he's very toned down, he's very modest, he's very sophisticated, he is just a very dapper rabbit. So I added a black satin ribbon to his neck to pull out the black that's in his body. So I'm going to place him here in the center of our tray, and I'm putting him at a little bit of an angle so that he's front facing, but he's not, you know, just absolutely forward. We want a little bit of dimension in our tray. So I'm going to place him in the center here. The next thing is, if you remember, I picked up these white bowls. Well, I'm going to use these white bowls with our boxwood balls here, and I'm simply going to place those inside. What that has done is it has created a little bit of its own planter. Now it looks as if it's in its own little pot, and it's also going to provide height, because we need height on our tray. So I'm going to place one of those here in the back side, and I've got my boxwood inside of the white dish, and then I have another one here that I'm going to drop inside and place here in the front. So as you can see, we're balancing out our tray. It's also really important whenever you're putting together some sort of a display or a vignette or a tray or a coffee table, whatever it is that you're putting together, you want to make sure that you have evenly distributed balance of items, accessories. So we've got our greenery here, which is also pulling off of the moss grass that's in the bottom of the tray, and it's also picking up the beautiful green that's in our moss pieces that we've laid in here. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I had this little apothecary jar, and I simply took some really colorful Cadbury candy eggs, and I placed those in here. And so what I'm going to do is just make a little spot here in the front to place our apothecary jar. So now we have something colorful and something that really gives a nod to the Easter season and spring with these beautiful pastel colors. And then to finish off our tray and give it that balance that it needs, we're going to use our glass jar that I purchased from Pier 1. And what I've done is I've added a little bit of moss grass to the bottom just to give that some warmth and texture as well. And I'm going to place that here on the back side of our tray. So now, no matter where you're standing, no matter where you're looking, you can see something in each area of our tray, but it's not overloaded and it has a lot of beautiful dimension and texture. And then of course, we can't forget that we have our charming, adorable rabbit who's so sophisticated and dapper as the center of attention. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to include a link in my video description of my recent haul. And also in my video are links to all my social media sites, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Pinterest, my website. It's all in there. It's a one-stop shop. Go in there and check it out. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.